everybody, what's up? Welcome to today's video. I'm Brian K, and today we're going to be talking about stacking thirds. Okay, basically using the chords in our blues, right, to be able to help us with some guitar solos, say some cool melody lines, and say some cool lead guitar things. All right, so before we get into it, I do want to thank everybody who's subscribed, to the channel. It does help tremendously. You're doing a great job out there on YouTube and on Rumble, and it is most appreciated. And of course, look, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you're digging the content here, go ahead, like, share, subscribe, comment on the videos. All right, it really does go a long way to help the channel continue to grow. Okay, now with that said, okay, stacking thirds, which is basically how you can make an arpeggio. Okay, arpeggios are just, stacking thirds, because chords basically, in the simplest version of your chords, major chords, minor chords, just 7 chords, right? You're stacking thirds and you're doing them out of the scale. Okay, so basically, all you need to think about is 3 notes really to have a basic outline for your structure on your blues, okay, for the chords, all right? So today is today's a key of B major, all right? It's a B major. It's a B major kind of day. Okay, B major, all right? And we're going to be looking at, a blues. So we're looking at a straight ahead 12 bar 1-4-5 progression, which is going to be giving us, when we look at a major blues, okay? So you've got, major 1 chord, B, major of some kind. It could be a dominant 7, could be a major 7, but we'll say dominant 7. Okay, and then your 4 chord is going to be an E major or an E7. If you want the downtown sound, it could be a major 7 too for the 4 chord, but we'll say dominant. Okay, and then your 5 chord is going to be good old F sharp 7 or F sharp major. Either one. But there you have it. There's your blues in B. Okay, 12 bar blues. Now there are other chords that can come in if you wanted to add some variety, like maybe a minor 2 or a minor 3 chord, right? And this is all coming out of the scale. So basically just basic scale knowledge and steps of the scale. What's happening with your steps of the scale. What chords are major, what chords are minor, because this all applies to your blues. Okay, because you can trick things out a little bit, right, by knowing this, all right? But there's going to be your 2 basic arpeggios or stacked thirds. One will be a major chord, and one would be stacking thirds for a minor chord. And we're looking at triads. Okay, so triads, 3-note entities that are the foundation of our chords. And they're the foundation of the chords we were just looking at for a B or, B major, B7 chord. E major or E7, F sharp major or F sharp 7, right? Those triads are going to be a root note, a third, and a fifth. And if it's major, it's a root note, a major third, and the distance of technically a perfect fifth. Okay? So there's a basic shape that is easy to remember, okay? To be able to play that stacked third, right? Triad. And it would simply be, if we're playing a B major, right? Okay, low E string at the 7th fret for your B, right? For your root note. Then you go to the next string up, the A string, right? And go 1 fret down to the 6th fret. There's your third. That's a major third in this case, right? And then your 5, which is going to be up here on the 9th fret of the A string. Right? Now, on any of your strings tuned to a 4th, right, like we're tuned the 4ths on the low E to the A, and then the A to the D, and the D to the G string. They're tuned to 4ths. So this shape, right, the sonic shape, translates off of a root note of any of these strings. So it's basically going to be that shape. Right? If you were going to play an E major chord in this case, right? It's going to be a root note on the A string at the 7th fret, and then you go to the 6th fret of your D string, same shape. It's just on these strings now, between the A and the D string, right? 6th fret of the D string up to, you know, the 9th fret of the D string. Same shape though on these two strings now. You know, if you wanted to continue on this adventure of just being able to play a triad like this, or stacked thirds, which is just every other note of a major scale in this case, okay? I mean, you could play, you know, well, why don't we keep it in the key? Why don't we come up here to a B note, an octave higher from the B we started at on the low E string, but if you go up here to the, you know, the 9th fret of the D string, you have a B, right? Root note. It's the same shape, it's because we're tuned to 4th, so it's going to be the same exact thing, it's just in this position. But, you know, the D string at the 9th fret, then you're going to have the G string at the 8th fret, and then again the G string at the 11th. And the shape we played for E, we'll just backtrack a second, would be the same thing that you would just push up 2 frets for your 5 chord for the F sharp. So and the easiest way to do it is just to do that. There's your stacked thirds, because what it is here's your major scale. I'm looking at a B major scale, and it's every other note up to the 5th, right? Go past that 2nd tone, the major 2nd to the 3rd, go past that 4th up to the 5th. So just every other note. And that's how you would continue stacking, like if you wanted to get to 7 chords, you know, like dominant 7s. And it's very, very straight up stuff. Okay, so that's your major chord. Now look, minor, get a bonus tip. How would you do the minor arpeggio, or basically the minor, you know, stacked thirds? So it's coming out of a minor scale. This is the nuts and bolts stuff, which would just be a natural minor scale in this case. Like if I had a B minor chord, you'd have your natural minor scale. So you do want to be hip to your scales here, you know, but your minor pentatonic scale also gets you there, because the minor pentatonic scale is basically a 5-note interpretation, really, of the natural minor, the 7-note minor scale. So if you know your minor pentatonic, you're in, okay? Because all you want to do is basically play the 1st and 2nd notes, and then go up to the 5th. So go past the 4th that we would play in our minor pentatonic scale, but go up here to the 5th. And your arpeggio, you're playing an arpeggio for a basic minor chord. 1, minor 3, perfect 5, right? And if it was a minor blues, where you're looking at minor chords, okay? And then you start sounding kind of like that quasi Santana minor blues type stuff, right? You got it going on with the minor pentatonic scale, which is kind of a built-in awesome thing about that scale, really, is that if you understand your chords, which you're understanding them better now if you're watching this video, right? You can see how you can manipulate this stuff. Okay, so let's say, what if you wanted to put an extra chord into your blues, right? Because we can do this. We're going to go a little further than just straight 1, 4, 5 in our exploration, in our adventure here. All right. What if you wanted to add a minor 3 chord? Well, that would be fine in the key of B major, because we're in B major today. We're in B major, okay? So we're looking at major chords and minor chords in the key. And if you look at your minor 3, well, it would simply be, well, okay, it is a minor 3, because just if you didn't know, it's major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. Those are the steps of your 7 notes, which are interpreted as chords. Okay, I'm not going to get too far into that. But the 3 chord in the key of any major key is going to be a minor chord. So in this case, we're looking at, well, Well, it would be a D sharp minor. Okay, that would be the chord we're looking at. We could pull that into our blues if we wanted to have something that just goes a little bit out of 1, 4, 5, maybe adds a minor 3, you know. Right? Just for the sake of saying we could do that, because we know we could if we wanted to. Maybe you're into writing music. Maybe you're into playing some other songs that go away from the straight 1, 4, 5 blues thing, and that's all you know. You know, you want to go further than that. Well, knowing how the scale steps work is good to understand, because you can put those arpeggios in there. Got a 1, minor 3, maybe from there go to a 5, right? Okay, we'll just say, we'll take that as our progression. 1, 3, 5. So major 1, minor 3, major 5 of some kind, maybe dominant 7, right? If you want to use 7 chords, you can use dominant 7, minor 7 for your 3, and a major 7 or a dominant 7 for your 1 chord. Okay, if you want to take it a little uptown, right? Right, that'd be taking it uptown. Go uptown with it if you want to use major 7s, or you can just stay downtown. Okay, but if you wanted to add your stacked thirds, major for your 1 chord, minor for your 3 chord, just find your root note. It's right there. It's going to be the D sharp at the 6th fret of your A string. Right? Think minor pentatonic scale if you want to. Then you're up here for your 5 chord, F sharp, major arpeggio. So the 1 and the 5 are major arpeggios, or major triad. But the 3 chord is minor. Okay? Okay, so look, that in a nutshell is the most basic way of thinking about arpeggiating the chord in your blues with just straight up triads. Okay? Just every other note of the scale, right? If it's a major scale, it's 1, 3, 5. It's 1, 3, 5, major third for the major arpeggio, and 1 minor third 5 for the minor arpeggio. And that's really all you need to know. Minor pentatonic scale will get you there for the minor chord. Okay? All right. So those shapes apply. So look, some musical examples. So, you know, you can hear this in real time and hear. You know, just hear how this is going to help spiff up your blues, okay? And if you want to take it a little further than 1, 4, 5, understanding this arpeggio and how to stack these basic thirds to play either a major or minor chord, real simple and straight ahead, is going to add a lot of variety to your playing. All right, let's check it out. Okay, so as we can hear, just by simply adding an arpeggiated triad into our lines using the scales that we already know, right? Just by introducing these in, it adds a whole new palette of variety and exploration and creativity into our playing. Okay, so take this concept, enjoy using it, and until next time, enjoy playing your guitar.